Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my Atak Sportz for this, indeed, a Monday, April the 13th, April 13th, 2015. Hope everyone had a great weekend, especially sports weekend. Let's kick off with some sports news. Speaking of, starting with UFC and Bellator, they had events over the weekend. I only saw one of them since UFC was on their Fight Pass. I don't have Fight Pass because they don't stream the pay-per-views like the WWE Network does. For that price that UFC charges for their Fight Pass, you can stream the pay-per-views like WWE does, but they don't use money like WWE does pay-per-views because it's $10. $9.99. And UFC's playing soft with that. But anyway, I did see Bellator this past Saturday, Friday. Bellator 136 taking place on Spike TV. At least the championship main event wasn't a screwy championship main event like the last two with weird endings like Liam McGarry winning like he didn't deserve it, and the weird verbal submission that ended the fight between Joe Warren and Marcus Galbo. And we did have a verbal submission in the second fight, and this card was pretty decent though. The first fight, which was heavyweight, Tony Johnson against Alexander Volkov, was pretty decent, very exciting, decent little fight with Tony Johnson getting the victory by the end of his decision. I think he tried to go for submission during that fight. Don't remember much about it. Don't remember much about the second fight too, which was in lightweight division. Marcin Held taking Alexander Zarnowski, mostly boring. I fell asleep during this fight because it was that boring. I use an analogy a lot. Decent engine, not much excitement. But Marcin won with a verbal submission with a knee bar. Kind of like what happened with Joe Warren. One scream, and you lose. Kind of a weird, stupid rule, but it's in the rules. They should fix that. After the Joe Warren thing, they need to fix that. Anyway, we had the co-main event in the middleweight division. Rafael Carvalho taking on Joe Schilling. Really decent back and forth action fight. It was like back and forth because I think one guy had the first round and then it was like really back and forth action. Like both guys took takedown, submission attempts, and really good striking. Really good striking in this co-main event. And Rafael Carvalho won by split decision. I thought Schilling won. But unlike a most recent UFC fight night when one guy got booed because of a bad decision and took it out on the fans, at least Rafael didn't take it out on the fans. Like what happened at UFC recently at the most recent fight night with Al Iaquinta taking his vengeance on the fans for booing him. They weren't booing him, they were booing the decision. Then on to our big main event for the lightweight championship. Will Brooks taking on Dave Jensen. Now, Dave Jensen was getting his first championship fight, and unfortunately, he learned a hard lesson. Pace yourself. Don't waste your energy in the first round, because you're going to wear yourself out and get your ass beat. That's exactly what happened with Dave Jensen. He beat the crap out of Will Brooks in the first round. But unfortunately, his energy was wasted, and Will Brooks tossed his ass down the drain for the next 4 rounds after that great first round from Jensen. His energy was swiped out of his system, and Will Brooks just took it at him for being a rookie in championship matches. And with Dave Jensen's energy sucked out and Will just getting stronger and stronger, beating the crap out of him with the next 4 rounds, Will retain his championship. By an okay showing from Dave Jensen, though. But like I said, it wasted the energy in the first round. So if these are fun main event, it kind of got one-sided after that first round. But still, these are a little fun fight night from Bellator this past Friday. And like I said, UFC did have a fight card on Saturday, but it was on Fight Pass. I don't have Fight Pass. Main event was World Cup taking on Gabriel Gonzaga. In a rematch, I heard they had a TKO victory for World Cup, defeating him in a rematch, and it was awarded Fight of the Night honors. Being a heavyweight fight, we'll see how that went. Then we had light heavyweight Jimmy Manuwa taking on Jade Blachowicz, and he won. I hope I pronounced it right. By unanimous decision. Then welterweight we had Perel Pollock taking on Sheldon Westcott in the decision for Perel winning. And in the strawweight division, we had Mariana Moros taking on Joanne Calderwood. It was a mission victory in the first round for Mariana Moros in 1:30. Of course, UFC does have a Fox card coming up Saturday, which I will be watching. Well, actually, I'm not because I have a gig. I have a gig on Saturday. But It'll be Luke Barco taking on Lyoto Machida in the main event for this Saturday. I'm recording it, though. So, there you go. Before we get to WWE and Raw tonight, let's get on down to a little bit of TNA Impact. They had an episode on Friday. You had a triple threat match between Kurt Angle, Bobby Lashley, and Eric Young. After Lashley had his shoulder up in his match against Angle 2 weeks ago. And it was a decent little triple threat. It was a very fun match for being a triple threat. With Angle getting the victory with a moonsault following a bunch of Angle slams, including one to Eric Young, who was in the match. So there you go with that. This is a little fun triple threat. Then we had Awesome Kong beating the crap out of Gail Kim. Giving yourself number one contendership for the Knockouts title, proper number one contendership. And we found out who's going to be competing for the tag team titles this Friday, as the ones that forfeit the title. And Davey, who's currently without a partner, he was in a decent X Division match against DJZ. He's probably competing against the X Division title, because now he's got no partner. So, but the tag teams that will compete in the tag team tournament this upcoming Friday, the final four will be the Ultimate X. They almost spoiled who's in it, but we have the Hardys, James Storm, and Koya, who competed against his fellow Revolution members. We thought Storm was teasing a face turn after helping Mickey James last week, but he's still part of Revolution. Then we have Rockstar Spud and Mr. Anderson. And the Spud, as people have been calling them. EC3, he wants to be in the ring against Spud, the X-Division champion. He'll be with Bram. We also got Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, former tag team champions. They're going to be in that. And I think the Beatdown Clan are also going to be in that position. And I think the Rising could be in it. But, speaking of Rising, they debuted, and, we got some guy named Evan, and Hakusan's involved, so that's cool. These are a little Impact this past Friday on Destination America. So there you go. Now let's get on down to Raw tonight. Taking place from one of their hunting grounds, as well as TNA when they're in town. London. They're in London tonight, part of the European tours. We head towards Extreme Rules in 2 weeks. They better announce some more matches, which I'll get to that. In my top 4 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 4. Who will accept John Cena's open challenge this week? Now, Cena wants to be a fighting champion, bring back prestige in the U.S. Championship by defending it every week. It's kind of a bad move in some people's eyes because he keeps burying young talent in many people's eyes. Although we had a great show from the Ambrose 2 weeks ago and Stardust last week, we'll see who accepts the challenge this week. And we'll see to be able to leave you up as U.S. champion as he head towards this match against Rusev at Extreme Rules. Speaking of matches that will be at Extreme Rules, question number 3. Who will be the number 1 contender for the Divas Championship tonight? As made last week by Kane, who was on duty with the Authority on vacation, who was set to return tonight, he made a battle royal for tonight, being a number 1 contenders fight for the Divas Championship. The winner takes on Nikki Bella at Extreme Rules. I'm guessing, I said this in my Raw review last week, Naomi will be the one to get the title shot since AJ retired. Sad she didn't get the farewell speech last week. But hey, I was over the CM Punk thing. A lawsuit between him and the referee. Anyway, probably see Naomi win this battle royal tonight. I hope to see some NXT guys in there. I hope to see Charlotte and or Sasha Banks or even Bayley get in this battle royal. Even though they may not win, at least they get the foot in the door, like other NXT people have done in the last couple weeks, especially Neville, who had a great match against Seth Rollins last week, and Lucha Dragons, who are getting over well, which I hope they get a tag team title shot soon. And that leads to my second question. Will any new matches be added to Extreme Rules, or will any stipulations be added for the matches that are already been announced? We know Randy Orton will take on Seth Rollins in the main event for the WWE World Championship. Will there be a stipulation added in that match? Like no DQ or anything, or tables match or any of that. Hope to get that soon, as well as a stipulation for Cena and Rusev. Any stipulation for another announced match for the IC Championship. Wade Barrett uses a rematch clause against Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. Allergies acting up. I apologize. I hope they have stipulations for those matches. And add more matches with stipulations as well. So we get some more matches and stipulations for matches tonight on Raw. Which leads to question number one I kind of said about saying it again. Raw will go down tonight between Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. And will there be a stipulation added to the match? Now, Randy Orton defeated Roman Reigns and Ryback in a triple threat match last week to determine who was going to face Rollins. Orton makes the most sense because he did beat Rollins at WrestleMania right before Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank in the main event, as we all know. But also, Randy Orton hasn't had a proper rematch ever since losing at last year's WrestleMania to Daniel Bryan in the triple threat between him, D-Bryan, and Batista. So now, Orton gets a proper rematch, this time against Rollins. I hope they add some sort of stipulation. If I was to guess what stipulation they would add, well, besides banning all authority from ringside, like a no DQ fight, like a tables match or something cool. I bet you Cena and Rusev would be something like last man standing, because I know Cena's been in a lot of those. I would bet you that's what's going to be the stip for Cena and Rusev is last man standing. As for D-Bryan, Wade Barrett, I think it should, just be honest, it should be a best 2 out of 3 falls. Just let these guys wrestle. But hey, I would love to see some steps and new matches added for Extreme Rules tonight on Monday Night Raw at 8/7 Central on USA Network. They're probably taping it right now because of the time difference in UK. That's one thing about, that's the only bad thing about Raw being in UK. They tape it early and it's on tape delay. I'm not reading any spoilers for that. So there you go. That is it for my Atak Sportz. Stay tuned tonight for my Raw review with that mind-opening attack by the sports news from Zach. See you later. Yeah.